lot of times I'm driving, there's nothing to do, and I shuffle through the radio before I unglue. There's a lot of red on ways, it's traffic, I'm screwed, and I'm wired a bit different than a regular dude. It's not a bad thing, I embrace it, it's true. The radio don't stimulate brain chemistry fluid. The Buddha found nirvana and the Four Noble Truths. Through a meditative process, right action he proved. For me, I require the use of a tool, a detector, pin, pointer, shovel, and beach scoop. I'm meant to work the dirt with my history crew, but everywhere I look, my interest taboo. Most people choose Bieber over Tippy Canoe. What does a detectorist listen to when the radio is full of bad music and news? I need an alternative for me to peruse. Beyond Sight and Sound gets fantastic reviews. A metal detecting show where my thought bubble brews. Thank you, Josh Kimmel, for inviting me to a detecting dork out with guests like yours truly.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoop's company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of 8 in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll take a great deal for you.
Eye patch and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right, we're back. We're live. Yes, we're live once again. Oh, we're back. We're live. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, Metal Detecting and Treasure Hunting Radio for all the really cool digging people out there. And as I look into the chat, I see that there's a number of people dropping in. I think I saw Scott, Mark, D.A. Frank, Tam, Rich, Crazy Spider, Barb, Janet, All sorts of people dropping in. All sorts of people dropping in. And I'm sure I probably missed, we've got both bills in now. And there's Paul. Yeah. Ohio Relic Hunter just scored himself a set of tires today, I do believe. And there's Lauren. There's Chuck. Welcome aboard to Chuck. Definitely. Oh, let's see here. Looks like Mike's in as well. I see hello inmate. So Mike is in. Good to see. Good to see. Okay, so maybe I've missed some names. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. Links, first and foremost, our friends over at Shooters and Prospectors. TheRingFinders, DETECTEES.com, Extreme Scoops, Crazy Spider Adventures on YouTube, and recently he just released a video, I guess. I have not had the chance to watch it, but I do believe he did just release a video. Ohio Metal Detecting on YouTube, Metal Detecting NYC, Detected Outdoors, All Metal Militia, all on YouTube, Midwest Refineries, Terry Shannon's website, Nokta Makro website. I believe Coin Rings for Sully is still in there. He does some nice work. A lot of links in the chat, in the description. And don't forget the Detect America Electrolysis Bootcamp videos. If you are a stranger to electrolysis, you're not comfortable with it, check them out. Buy the book. Buy the ugly box if you can. Either way, like we've said before in the past, we're not saying you have to purchase an ugly box to do electrolysis. I stand behind the ugly box fully. And that's what I use. That's what I prefer to use. But you can make your own electrolysis unit. I've done it many times in the past, but the ugly box is just the way to go. And who knows, we may get into that a little more on another show, on another episode. I don't know, maybe I'll have to even bring Frank in to chime in on that one, because he's definitely, he knows a thing or two about electrolysis. Definitely. I had almost made a post about a token that I just ran through the ugly box. I haven't decided, though, yet whether or not I want to I may try to change the coloring of it a little bit. I mean, it's stable. It cleaned up nicely. The verdigris is off of it. Any other things that have attached itself to the token are gone. Very, very nice. Very nice. And I may post that up, but I may wait until I make that determination whether or not I want to try and change the coloring on it or anything like that, the toning. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Either way, though, the important part with electrolysis is that you do it properly. You will not damage an item with electrolysis if you do it properly. Unlike some other types of cleaning or attempts of cleaning, and I'll leave it at that for now, because I'm not going to I'm not planning on taking a soapbox tonight on people that may encourage others with very aggressive or invasive ways of cleaning, whether intentional or otherwise. So yeah, I may, welcome to Little Dirt Ditter. I may go ahead and delve into that a little further at a later point in time. And I may bring Frank in on that one. We actually do a number of shows throughout the year, both here and on Detect America. About electrolysis and the proper ways of doing it. The important part is that you do it safely and you do it properly. Make sure you get your information from a good source, because there is, unfortunately, quite a bit of misinformation out there, and sometimes it's easy for people to get led astray. But like I said, I'm not taking. I almost kind of feel like, well, I'm playing the role of Frank here, and I'm starting to get into a rant, and I'm not taking any of his thunder, and I'm not taking the soapbox on this tonight. Definitely, Frank knows his stuff when it comes to electrolysis, and that's why he's always an asset when it comes to the episodes where we do cover electrolysis and things of that nature, cleaning. So, tonight, getting away from the detecting a little bit, obviously, as all of you should know in the chat, I'm sure we all know, we all remember, Saturday marks the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And for all of us, it made a huge impact on everyone's lives. So we thought tonight we'd kind of sit back and maybe people had some stories to share, and just kind of honor those that were involved with 9/11, those that have made sacrifices, because it should always be remembered and never forgotten. And with that, we've actually got a prize, a giveaway, a contest of sorts, if you will. I've seen where, I believe it was Mark was posting, 23Q Purple Montana, did I win yet? But it's not that kind of giveaway. Tonight we're gonna run the giveaway just like we did for the Gold Nugget a few shows back from the Alaska excursion episode. And what we are going to do, because unfortunately, and this is where people start to glaze over maybe and tune out and things like that, but this is not a contest for everybody. This contest, or giveaway, I guess I should say, because it's not, it's a way for us to say thank you. And to kind of pay respect and honor those that serve, those that have served, you know, whether you're ex-military, current military, veterans, first responders, EMTs, paramedics, law enforcement, firefighters. No matter what the branch of the service you were in, whether that was Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard, any of that. That's what this is for. And what that is a 20th anniversary 1-ounce copper round commemorating the 20th anniversary of 9/11. So what we're going to do is I want everybody in the chat, if you're listening, if you are a veteran, ex-military, currently serve, if you are in any of the branches of service or have been, if you are a firefighter, a paramedic, an EMT, a law enforcement, or first responder, or have been, comment in the chat what category you fall into. Pretty simple, right? And as that goes on, Tam will be writing down names, and we'll take names up to about 8:30. And then she'll 8:30, 8:45, and she will randomly select a winner and let them know. Let me know. I will let you know. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if anyone seeing a number of people already. Dylan, there he is, Army veteran, and also operates the search and rescue. Yeah, search and rescue would work. Yeah, it's a very good point. Thank you for bringing that up, Bill. So yeah, search and rescue as well. We will let them in as well, because obviously I'm sure search and rescue played quite a part during 9/11. But make sure and comment what category you fall into, so Tam can write those names down. One person will be randomly selected somewhere shortly after 8:30, somewhere 8:45 maybe. She'll let me know, and I will announce the winner on the air. And we will even give you a chance to call in if you would like. And if you would like to maybe share a couple of stories with us. Barb just threw an alphabet in the chat, I think is what that is. Did you spill a box of Scrabble tiles? Oh. No, we knew Barb would make it in. But the biggest thing, as I back out of the chat and let that go for a while so Tam can focus on names, we do want to definitely thank everyone for their service, whether they have served or currently serve, no matter what category that falls into. It's 9/11 was it was a traumatizing day, definitely, and one of those days where you could say life changed for all of us, the country changed for all of us, and the world changed for many of us. And it's a shame those that lost their lives in 9/11, or even the sacrifices of those who came after to try and set things right and do their part. It takes a very, very special sort of person to run into the danger while everyone else runs away. And I'm sure that you can definitely agree with that, Chuck. Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Challenger disaster. Absolutely.
I can't hear Chuck.
I agree. Yes, I definitely agree. And looks like we had a little bit of an issue with people hearing you in the chat, but I've got that rectified now.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, our freedom has totally been changed in America, in the United States, forever because of this. The day it happened, I'd been on shift. I come home, I go to bed, 6 a.m., phone starts ringing. Got to get up. My brother-in-law, Scott, down in Kitcock. He's a police officer down there. Are you watching the TV? I said, no, man. I was on duty all night last night. I'm in bed. And
you were in bed anyway.
I said, turn it on. And I turned it on just in time to see basically the second plane hit.
Yeah, that's about the time I tuned in as well. Was right before the second plane hit the towers.
And that's when everything became premeditated. We understood we were being attacked. We had a plane missing. Not long after that, in Pennsylvania, and more evolved. And we were paged, ordered to go to emergency operations centers as fire chiefs and responders and briefed on what's going on. The very next day, we spent all day doing this stuff. And my life here locally, all of us along here, changed immensely because of what we have here and a twin reactor nuclear generator. I mean, my road was being patrolled by the United States Army.
Right.
And these that were equipped for war. I mean, they were watching this site and the other plant site we got. And then down the road, we got Arsenal, and up above, we got an Army depot. And this place was an armed camp for almost 2.5 months.
Yeah. Similar scenario here. I mean, because we live about 40 minutes from the tank plant. And that, you know, when the first plane hit the tower, it was a tragedy. And everyone was reeling from it, still not understanding how deep and twisted the tragedy actually was until we started putting things together as things were happening, and realized, that it was more tragic than anyone could have realized, and that we were actually under attack.
Right. And then Jill's cousin's husband, he was in the Pentagon. He'd left at 7 a.m., grabbed the flight, was going to Europe. They hit just about his office area.
That's a very close call.
And he turned the aircraft around he was in and came back and went to work. I'll throw his name out there. General Charles Holland, U.S. Air Force, Joint Chiefs of Staff. He was in charge of Special Operations Command at that time. And literally...
I can definitely understand why he turned the plane around and came back and got to work.
Oh, immediately. But, with all that's going on afterwards here, 20 years later, with the boondoggle that's going on over in Afghanistan and that kind of stuff that's happening now, I mean, it drives the point home a little harder. My son was in the Marine, and he's livid over this, just livid the way this is going down, and so are many others. And
absolutely,
it is not good. But and then for the next months, you're in meetings. The state police had us in there talking to us about scenarios. We had government out here talking to all of us how to respond within a nuke plant whenever you turned into the drive at the nuke, which we did. We had to make responses in there, most of them medical. I was staring right down the throat of a Humvee with a tow missile pointed at you.
Yeah, that's got to be extremely intimidating.
And it's just, this ain't America right now. What's going on? We got to stop this. And it never has truly been stopped.
No, unfortunately it has not. Which is all the more reason why it should not be forgotten.
Never. Those lives, starting that day forward, with all that went on, should not be forgotten.
Absolutely.
So if anybody else wants to chime in, call in. It affected us all one way or another. It was terrible.
Yes, it was. And I heard some video clips, I whether they were news clips, go lives on Facebook or something like that, where there were people that they hadn't even been born yet at the time that 9/11 had happened. And they were even doing video clips and go lives and things of that nature to remind people about 9/11 and that we shouldn't forget. And it's nice to see that they're paying their respect and honoring those. But at the same time, they hadn't even been born yet. They don't realize, other than what they've been taught, the sacrifices that have been made and the way life changed for those of us that were around, whether directly or indirectly involved with it.
Right. It's a funny cycle, and I hope they never do to them like they're doing to our history of the Civil War. I see another statue was taken down today.
Yeah, that was... I was not happy to hear about that. They even removed his name from a high school that had his name and gave it a different name, I guess, to appease society, which I don't think was necessarily the right thing to do, but hey, there's a lot of not right things going on in the world today.
There are those that deny the Holocaust never went on.
Right. And
there are those that deny we landed on the moon. It's all a hoax. There are those that deny many things. I mean,
yep.
There are even some that still believe the world is flat.
That's right.
One of my favorites is from a actor. One of my favorite quotes. And life's hard. It's a lot harder when you're stupid. So that's all I can say about that.
Well, you do make a good point. Definitely.
Yeah. You see, Lauren, she must live over near Clinton nuke plant across the state. I'm over here, Lauren, at the Cordova nuke plant. In fact, it's a half a mile out my door.
Yeah, it's definitely close enough where I can certainly understand where things were a little nerve-wracking for a while.
Yeah.
With 9/11 and subsequent events after. Because that's awful close. I mean, if that thing goes up, it's not going to be pretty.
Well, they made the order. I think I told you this earlier. All aircraft had to come down.
Yes.
Or they would be shot down. And planes were dropping out at any airport they could get into. They weren't trying to make a run for their destination. They were told to get down now. I got set up. I had to go to the station. We'd been told to go to quarters, and we were going to meet with troopers. And so I'm walking out the door, and I hear a plane, a jet, a good-sized jet, and it is dropping. I mean, this thing is coming down. Well, it happens to be dropping kind of at an angle, nose down, very sharply, right toward that nuke plant, and it just froze me for a second. I mean, I just froze. I'm looking at this thing going, no.
Right.
Pinked over and leveled out, and it was headed for the Moline Airport, Quad Cities Airport. And I just kind of breathed a sigh of relief, but it did. It froze me. I'm thinking, don't, no, it can't be another one.
Yeah, this is absolutely going to be a very bad day.
Yes.
That would not be good at all. But, like you said, and I do remember them being ordered down, and that was it. They were literally dropping out of the sky, basically, because this wasn't at your convenience. This was now.
Right. If you ever seen the time lapse from the time the order hit to where those trackers show all the flights going on, and how fast that sky emptied was amazing.
Right.
But then there were people that were stuck in places like, okay, how do I get home? A friend of mine and his wife were flying back they'd been on a cruise up to Alaska, did their thing, were flying back, and they got stranded somewhere. It was in Canada. They dropped in, and they're like, the place they landed at barely had like one little hotel. And they were there for 11, 12 days, 14 days, something like that. And the city, the people, the townsfolk, took care of them, fed them, and housed them.
Oh, wow.
Up
Very
in Canada.
cool.
And Diane Roberts, yeah. That's, a lot of people got stranded in a lot of places and they couldn't leave. I mean, it was quite a while before regular traffic even thought about resuming.
Yeah, it threw a big wrench into a lot of people's days. I can even remember the other calamities it caused. You know, people making runs on the fuel stations and the price gouging that was going on, and just lines backed up for blocks.
We had a local station in, Casey's General Store. I imagine you've heard of a Casey's. Mm-hmm. And local community down here. I had to make the run down to county EOC. I'd been there quite a few hours, and I had to run and meet with people in the corporate offices of the plant sites here and what they were going to do and what they wanted done and what the police were telling us to do. I mean, it was crazy. And they bumped their gas price $2.50 a gallon.
Yeah. Yeah. We've seen the same thing here.
At that point.
Where prices just went through the roof.
Yep. And they were thinking, and people, I haven't bought gas in Casey's since.
Right. I can remember a particular station local to us that I was there that afternoon and saw what that station was doing, and I've never been back since.
Yeah. So no RH. They didn't come back ending their sentences with A. What's up, A? Yeah. But nope, it impacted us forever.
Yes, it did. And unfortunately, not in a good way. I mean, that there's been a lot of liberties or freedoms lost. I mean, people who actually do air travel, they don't like the long lines, the TSA checkpoints. Well,
yep.
If you ever wondered why they are the way they are, now you know.
Right.
It's that's the way it changed to. That's the way it continues to be, and it makes for a lot of, in many cases, a lot of unnecessary calls to law enforcement because of residents being worried about potential terrorist activities or something when there's nothing going on. But after all of that and the way things had changed, they can't just shrug off or ignore those calls simply because of the fact of you just don't know. Everybody, it threw society into a state of ultra awareness, I guess you could say.
Crazy.
Yeah. And it is.
So I'll back out of here. Somebody else call in and let us know your feelings on it. I mean, it's something that should not be forgotten or denied. I hold nothing against the religion sect that it was all blamed against.
Right.
These were splinter groups. These are things that have to be watched, and now we're going to be in a situation and we're going to have to up the guard again.
Yeah. And it's one thing to have a certain set of religious or even political beliefs, but it's a completely different thing to have extremist beliefs. And that more so, I think, falls right on the head where, yes, it had been blamed on certain religious beliefs, but it wasn't necessarily the religion, it was the extremists.
Right.
And it should not be.
Well, extremists will take something like that and hide behind it, religion and...
Right. To suit a particular agenda.
Right. Agenda. You're 100% right there. And We just have to stand guard.
Yeah, that's all we can do. I mean, we continue to rebuild, we continue to come back, and it shouldn't be forgotten. Just like the Civil War or World War II, December 7th was another one of those days that nobody will forget, and that's why we shouldn't forget them. Because if you forget it, just like with taking down the monuments, history will repeat itself. And you have to be aware and remember these sorts of things, not because they're fond memories, because many times they are not, but more so because that's kind of our main line of defense to ensure that it does not happen again. And 9/11 was the most tragic attack since Pearl Harbor.
Right.
Basically. And Pearl Harbor,
that made a point here. He teaches in anti-terrorism class. He says, if you see something, say something. Don't be quiet about it. Man, I'll tell you what, we had calls all the time around that nuke plant if a vehicle was parked on the entry roads, if somebody was out taking pictures of it, which occurred, anything, they were Johnny on the spot picking them up. They didn't even ask questions. They were in a squad car and taking a ride if they couldn't answer why and where. They went down the county.
Yeah, you've got some explaining to do, and you better have a pretty good reason.
Because they posted very, very up front along these roadways, do not stop, do not get out, blah, 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 into the entrance, out here on the backside, anything like that. Yeah, they meant it.
Yeah, and Scott does make a good point. If you see something, don't just, it's not my job, it's not my duty, I'm not going to get involved. Say something.
That's right.
You never know. I mean, you taking that step to say something, maybe it's nothing at all, or it could save, dozens, hundreds, thousands of lives.
Yes. That's exactly. I mean, we have to be aware of our surroundings. In other words, eyes in the back of your head.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like with the detecting. Always be aware of your surrounding environment.
Right. So, anyhow, somebody else wants to call in, do so.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts and feelings on this one, because this is a memorial show.
Right. Yes, very true. I mean, it's not necessarily, and don't get me wrong, there is a giveaway for those who did put in the chat the category that they fall into, and Tam will be drawing that name here in just a few minutes, I think. So we're down to the final minutes that people can get themselves into this. But it's not necessarily...
Up to Florida Hunt 8, they keep asking Michael where the sausage bread is. That's good stuff, man.
Right?
That's right.
He's he's retired now from the service. He may you never know, maybe he'll open up a food truck or a restaurant or something.
He could sell that sausage bread. I'm here to tell you, that's good stuff.
I'm sure he could, from everything I heard.
I did not go for the ultra hot at that time of morning. I just took the standard sausage bread. I liked it very much, but there's some people that told me that the ultra hot was just what he said it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was spicy.
Well, that'll keep you out there moving.
Yeah, it might make you move. Yeah. Oh
Right.
boy. Gotta get my room and everything down there. It looks like we're going to be able to go for a while. I was kind of on the edge there whether we can make it or not because there were some other things either side of it. Jill's going on a trip. I think it's still going to go. And she'll get back in time to go on this one. So that's one thing we were trying to check out. And another one I've got to go on in March. And I'll get back in time to turn around and go back. So it'll be fun.
Right, there you go.
And Lisa's planning on Jill coming down and cooking with her.
Oh. So it'll be good eating.
Oh, yeah. There'll be some good eating going on. So we'll have a good time there. And I think Frankie's going to come and bring rhubarb wine, Frank.
Oh.
I think John White is planning on it, too. Are you planning on it, John? Just type in there yes or no.
Right.
Yep.
And I guess, speaking of Franks, for D.A. Frank and Mike Laclamette, they may want to hang around because we do have a special announcement before we get out of here, too.
Oh.
And that'll save me a little bit of messaging back and forth or something, because they'll just find out live on the air, and they can do with it whatever they think needs to be done with it, and that saves me the messaging, at least a little bit. So a little bit of a surprise for them and their group members or listeners, followers, friends, whatever you want to call it. Definitely. Right. But we, while we've been talking, Tam actually dropped into the studio real quick to let me know that we do have someone in the chat that was selected randomly. So we do have our winner for our thank you gift, I guess you could say, our prize, our giveaway for tonight. And that winner is always more than welcome to call in as well if they would like to share anything. But as long as they're in the chat, that works too. And my chat is locked up at this point. So, but it is Richard Kruckmeyer.
Hey, Richard.
So hopefully Rich is still in the chat, and if he is, everyone make sure and give him a big congratulations and thank him for his service. I want to say Navy, I believe. I could be wrong. Like I said, my chat has locked up, so I can't even go back that far to where people were entering what category they fell into. But I do know that Richard is a veteran. He did serve, and we do appreciate his service, as well as everyone else who has served or does currently serve in any of the categories that we mentioned at the beginning of the show, whether they're firefighters, police officers, any of that. Armed services, any of that stuff, which coincidentally your name was in the pool to be drawn as well, Chuck.
Well, good. But that means somebody else will win.
But yeah, apparently you did not. Your name did not make the pointer on the wheel. I guess Rich Kruckmeyer did.
Good,
and he's a great guy. So, and I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
We had a good time together down at Florida Hunt 8 last year.
Right.
Or 7, excuse me. I'm ahead of myself on it.
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm sure everybody will have a great time at 8 as well. But
oh, yeah.
But, yeah, last year was 7, and, yeah, Rich is, he's definitely very supportive of the community, very supportive of the shows, and we're certainly very supportive of him as well, and the service that he did. So a big congratulations to Rich on his win. He will need to PM me his shipping information, and I will get that out to him. I've got a lot of stuff going on, though, so I probably won't get this shipped out until the end of next week. Something
there
like
you go.
that.
Richard said he'd call in, but he's at work. So
we don't want him getting in trouble with the boss.
No.
But we do appreciate him.
There you go.
And he'll have to PM me his information. It won't show up quickly. Because like I said, it's probably going to take me a week or so to even get it out in the mail. I got a lot of stuff going on in the coming days, but we will get that out to him. And we appreciate everyone for their service.
Yes.
For the
like
other...
I said... Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, for the other announcement, though, if people thought that was a cool-looking copper round, and it is, I mean, I like the front of that. It says 20th anniversary of 9/11. It's got the American flag, the trade towers, the American eagle. The reverse has got the eagle's wings and the heraldic shield. Nice 1-ounce copper round. Very nice round. Very cool. But for those that didn't win, they may have another chance to win very soon. I don't know how. I don't know when. But there will be an opportunity to win one over on Metal Detecting Central Illinois. I'm letting Mike know now on the show. He has one that he can give away as he sees fit on the group. All he has to do is get me the shipping information of the winner, and we will get that out to them in the mail. That way, we're not paying for shipping multiple times or anything like that. There's no sense in me sending it to Mike so that he can pay to send it to whoever else. So I'll take care of the shipping on my end if he gets that information to me. And also for Frank, over on Detect America, they have one that they can give away as they see fit. Same rules apply. Just get the winner's information to me, and I will get that shipped out. Like I said, though, be aware, folks. Shipping will not be fast on this. It'll probably take me a week or so to get it out in the mail. And that'll be just kind of our way of saying thanks to them and what they do. So the group members, if you're not a member of Metal Detecting Central Illinois or Detect America, you may want to go and join those groups and see when or where that opportunity will arise. I'm sure that for Detect America, that opportunity will probably arise on a future episode of DA Live. And for Michael Aquamet and Metal Detecting Central Illinois, you never know where that is going to pop up in the group. And I had meant to message those two gentlemen and let them know, but since they're listening and they're in the chat, well, consider yourself notified. So there is that. So
you guys will have to check out. I posted up a complaint I had from a customer today. You guys are going to have to check that out. I put it over to Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound.
Backache from digging deep holes?
You just have to read what he sent me a message, and he was complaining that he only found 7 coins today or something like that. And he had, I think it was a total of 5 pictured. And he said, am I doing something wrong? And so I messaged him back. I said, well, what seems to be the problem? He said, well, this is all I found. And then he sent me that picture. You need to look at the picture.
Hey, I can already tell from the sounds of it. Those are the type of complaints you like.
Yes. He had me hook, line, and sinker, though. And Scott and I hunted together before quite a bit, in fact, and known each other a long time. So he set the hook on me today. So you have to take a look at what he had for a day today.
Right. You're going, uh-oh, here it comes, and pleasantly surprised.
That was kind of fun. So check it out on either my page, Shooters and Prospectors page, or the Beyond Sight and Sound page. You'll see the picture. Those kind of days are memorable.
Right. Hey, those are days that aren't forgotten either because of the fond memories.
Yeah, he was asking me about settings. Oh, God. I was like, oh, what do you do? And he just got it here not long ago at 800. Wow. And the guy he was hunting with got a barber half and a barber quarter. And he bought an 800 too.
That's a heck of a bad day.
Right away, he was quizzing, where do you find them? Private yard, whatever. And he told me it was a private yard. At one time, it was also a greenhouse, and there was a business there, and it was very old, and they're bulldozing her down. And he got in there and found that today.
Wow. Good job. That's a heck of a day to have.
Oh, I've never complained about big silver, let me tell you.
No, not at all. I mean, I can remember there for a while, I was on a streak where any time I'd find a silver half, it was a barber. And I had a couple of people that would hunt with me from time to time where they'd just message me and say, that's a heck of a problem to have. And I'd just tell them, yeah, I know. I'm trying to deal with it. I may have to seek therapy, but I'll deal with it okay.
Yeah.
Well, definitely good times.
Yep, that was a good day. Anytime you get that big silver, but he also got a Canadian silver nickel.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, those some of those are pretty collectible.
They can be, yes. I've always kind of gotten a kick out of finding the Canadian silver.
Mm-hmm.
They don't necessarily turn up real often sometimes here in my area, but when they do, it's always a pleasant surprise because they don't ring up like you would expect a silver coin of that denomination to ring up. But they're always interesting to find.
And yeah, he had a good day.
I will definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, check that out. You'll see why. All right.
Very cool.
Well, everybody have a great night. Thanks for your remembrance of 9/11, everybody. It's near and dear to me because my sons were serving.
Yes.
And keeping Mom and I pretty nervous about that, and then all that we went through on the fire department and chasing stuff, and the remembrance of the 343 out in New York, that'll never be forgotten. So have a great night, everybody. Thanks, Josh.
You too, Chuck. Thanks for the call and for some of the stories that you shared tonight. And thanks for your service.
Well, thank you. And thanks for all our military, police, fire, nurses, EMS. People just don't get it. They don't know what we all go through over a length of time.
Right.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you, Chuck. Well, congratulations to Rich on his win, and we do appreciate his service, as we do appreciate all of those that have served, do serve, whether it's in the military, the medical field, law enforcement, first responders, all of that. It takes a very
special person, you could say, to be able and do that job. Like we said, it takes a very particular sort of person when people are running from danger and they're running in head on right into it, no matter what that situation may be. And we appreciate everyone for all of that. We all play a very integral part in it. And tonight wasn't necessarily about the prize or about who won, so much as it was a chance for us to say thank you to everyone that has served and does serve, and just to honor those that had made that sacrifice, and to pay respect for those that had lost their lives in that sacrifice that they make, whether it's in the armed services or in the line of duty, no matter what that line of duty may be. And the important part is, like we've said, never forget. Always remember. If we forget, history is doomed to repeat itself. We're doomed to experience it all again. And for many of you in the chat, you all know what we've been talking about. You experienced it. You lived it. Whether it was 9/11 or whether it was in the line of duty, anything like that. So you all know. You know what that experience is like, and I'm sure for many of us that's an experience that we don't want to have to relive or experience a tragedy like that again. So, definitely a great call from Chuck. We do thank him for his service, as we do everyone else. And for Mike and Frank, hopefully they heard that they have a 20th anniversary 1 ounce copper round as well for them to give away however they see fit. All they have to do is PM me the winner's information, and I'll get that out to them in the mail. It will take some time, though. Like I said, I do have a lot going on in the coming days. Got a lot on my plate, a lot on my mind. But that's the way it is. So, and that is done, like I said, these people, Metal Detecting Central Illinois, Frank and the gang over at Detect America, that's just kind of a way that I can say, hey, thanks guys. For everyone else, we're going to get on out of here. And we wish everyone a wonderful evening. Stay safe. And remember, Saturday is the 20th anniversary. It should not be forgotten. We won't forget it. And I hope you don't either. Have a wonderful evening, folks. We're out of here.